Now let's talk about 7 different types of combinations you can get using the color wheel for how to start to put colors together. The first one and the easiest one is the monochromatic color combination. This is where we take one hue, one color, and we add the tints and the shades and pull out a color combination that is simply made up of one hue with tints and shades that change. And that becomes your monochromatic. So you can add white to it, you can add black to it, and you can add gray to it. And that gives you the tints and the shades and the saturation that you need from one hue to make up a monochromatic color combination. Complementary colors sit across from each other on the color wheel. So they are always right opposite each other. And you have lots of different combinations that you can start to pull this way, just looking at opposite sides of the color wheel. A lot of sports teams use this type of combination to create something that has a great deal of contrast from one color to the other. These are opposite of each other, so you get a warm color and a cool color, and you get great opposition. It's a vibrant color combination that has a bold way to capture attention. When you're using color in a complementary color combination, you really want to avoid using 50% of one color and 50% of the other color. You kind of want to shake up your proportions of your color. You want to add 40% of one color and 60% of the other. Or you could do 80% of one color and 20% of the other, or 90% and 10%. Whichever way you want to create those proportions, you just want to have a greater percentage of one color and a smaller percentage of the other color so that you do get that bright, bold contrast in those colors. Next time you're watching a sporting event, look at the uniforms of the team. They are probably made up of 2 contrasting colors, which grabs attention and really makes that team noticeable on the field. Analogous color combinations are made up of neighbors. So if you think of the colors as neighbors on the color wheel, you'll see how they come together to create little groups of colors. And these will, now you could do 3 colors in this, you can do 4 colors, you can do 2 colors, but you want to pull colors that are right next to each other on the color wheel. And this is what creates those analogous color combinations. Now these happen to be very, they blend well together. They merge one color into the other color very gently and softly. They don't tend to be bold in your face color combinations. They tend to be more soft or subtle combinations. Even if you're doing it with 3 warm colors, which would usually kind of grab your attention, an analogous color combination is a little bit more gentle on the eye because the colors live next to each other on the color wheel. So the eye tends to kind of just blend them together. If you like the feeling of a gentle look, then this is a very good way to go in terms of blending colors that move the eye from one place right to the other. Again, you want to think about your proportions here. You could do the same 30-30, or sorry, if you were going to mix that up, you might do equal proportions of the colors. Because it blends so nicely, you can combine those in equal proportions. You know, I think everything always looks better if you pick one color to have more dominance over the other 2 colors and let one be a supporting color and one be an accent color. That's where you might choose the warmer color to be the one that it's going to pop out and be more prominent as you're putting those colors together. A warm color just tends to grab the eye. It's lighter, it's brighter, and it has more ability to jump out at somebody. So if you're looking at your color combination and it's an analogous color combination, look for your lightest color or your warmest color. That's the one that's going to stand out the most. So analogous color combinations right next to each other on the color wheel. They are the neighbors. It could be 3 colors, 4 colors, 2 colors. And your lightest or brightest color is going to tend to jump out a little bit more. Your warm, light, bright color. It's going to jump out a little bit more than your cooler, darker colors do. So think about how you want to use that color. A triadic color combination is 3 colors that are equal distance from each other on the color wheel. So this is an equilateral triangle that points out 3 colors around the wheel. And these 3 colors will go together very nicely because they are equal distance from each other on the wheel. So as you're playing with these colors, pull them together and look for those proportions again. Look for the color that you want to have the dominant position, one color to have a supporting position, and one color to have an accent position. And how would you use those colors together? Now, because they're equal distance from each other on the color wheel, you're pulling from the different areas of the wheel very, very nicely. So these combinations tend to balance well. You can use the colors to balance one another, and they can create a unified, harmonized look very nicely. A split complementary color combination is where you take those complementary colors, one across from the other on the color wheel, and then you split on either side of the complementary color. So you'll choose the color that you really want to use, and then come across to the other side on the color wheel, and then split to the colors on either side. That gives you the split complement. So these colors complement the other color, and they do this in a very unique way. So the 2 colors that are on the opposite side of your dominant color, they are very good supporting actors to your dominant color. So if you're looking at a color combination where you say, I really, really, really want to wear this color, but I'm not sure what to put with it, look at the opposite side on the color wheel, look for the complementary color. That could be a combination, or then split on either side of that complementary color and see what are these supporting acting colors going to be. And then you can start, you can use them together as a balance. They will weight well and balance well off that primary color you want to use, or you can then split these up into different proportions as well. So you have your dominant color, which you're going to use in your largest amount, and then you have these splits that you're going to use in different percentages. So it could be, you could use 60% of your dominant color, 30% of one of the split complements, and 10% the other one. So you just want to think about how do they balance together against that dominant color, and then in what proportion do I want to use them? Do I want them to be equal, or do I want one to be greater than the other? But knowing where they are on the color wheel and how they kind of come to be associated with each other is really important in understanding how the colors work together. So split complement, opposite sides of the color wheel, and then the 2 colors next to the complement. The tetradic color combination is 4 colors. Now really it's 2 complementary pairs that are combined to make a color combination. So if you look at how this is a rectangular shape. If you think about it as you're pulling those colors, they are complements that are right next to each other on the color wheel. So as we're playing with these colors, we're looking at 2 pairs of complementary colors that come together to create a 4 color combination. A square color combination is also a 4 color combination, but this one is pulled using equal space between their colors. So like the triadic color combination, this one is square in shape, and you're pulling 4 colors that are equal distance from each other on the color wheel. So this gives you a little bit more dimension in how you're pulling your colors and gives you a wider variety of colors. But again, they are all spaced equally from each other on the color wheel. So it starts to pull in some different types of colors with the ones that you like. Now that you know how to pull 7 different types of color combinations out of the color wheel, you might ask yourself, well, where do I really start? Where do I begin? And my advice to you is to start just looking at the color wheel. One of my favorite color wheels to use is the Rainbow Color Selector. I like this particular color wheel because it gives you all those different color combinations right on the dial of the color wheel. And then the window shows you each of those monochromatic color combinations, and you can place this color wheel over a fabric so that you can see where on the tints and the shades does this color that you're looking at really line up. So as you're pulling colors to work on the color wheel, you want to think about pulling colors that are similar in shade or similar in tint, so that you're originally pulling colors that you know work well together.